Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, I'm so happy to report this, at least the first material here, the first article coming from Russia Today, because that confirms what I've been saying for so long. The guys in charge of Poland will get the Polish people in a hot war with Russia, sooner or later. I hope it doesn't happen. Why? Because the Russians will have no patience with them this time, and they can really send the Polish nation into exile. Now, that's the first topic, and the topic is related to a statement coming from Mr. Tusk, who is still the Prime Minister of Poland, Mr. Tusk. And Mr. Tusk, isn't he? Yeah, he is still the Prime Minister. So, Mr. Tusk gives the Polish people the illusion that they are close to being at war with Russia, but not because they maneuver Poland into Russia's side. No. It's because the Russians are bad. And this is what he says. Poland living in, and I'm quoting, pre-war times. So probably, or if he refers to 1939, 1st of September, then it is getting there, my friends. This is the first topic. The second topic, the Russians warn that the United States of America could be stabbed in the back by none other than the United Kingdom. How? They will create a false flag operation against the Americans, and then the Americans will have to intervene. Unless this is just a game. Remember, you want to do this? All right, I don't see you. Puck, oh my God, who did this? Oh, you did it. That's kind of understandings these guys can have. So these are the two topics for this video. So let's start with the first one. They are preparing you for war, baby dolls. That's what these guys are doing. Poland living in pre-war times. Who brought you there? Who brought you in the pre-war times? I tell you, your elected officials, all right, the public servants that you elected in order to fulfill your dreams, they maneuvered you into supporting Ukraine as you do, therefore getting closer in the line of, okay, that's what it is. So if you would have stayed a little bit to the side, you wouldn't have living in a pre-war times right now. But they wanted you to be in a pre-war state. Why? So they can profit. Who's they? Not the Polish people, I guarantee you that. So, the country's new government will have to face external and internal enemies. When they say internal enemies, think of liberty being infringed and freedoms. That's what they mean here. All right? External, that means we have to do the internal for the external. Donald Tusk has claimed Poland is experiencing deep political unease and external danger. Can you guess who that is? Prime Minister Donald Tusk has claimed likening the risks of pre-war times and urging vigilance against foreign and domestic threats. That means, man, this George Orwell was a genius, wasn't he? That's exactly what he said. Remember when George Orwell wrote The Animal Farm, and this is from, the example I want to give you is from the book 1984. When he wrote The Animal Farm, I think on the preface, the foreword of the book, he warned that he wrote the book not because he was just making fun of the Soviet system, of what was going on in Soviet Union, which he was dissolute. He was a socialist. George Orwell, 100%. He said it. He fought in Spain Civil War and so on. So he was a socialist. He was disillusioned with when he found out what's going on actually in Soviet Union and how those aliens took over a system and a country, and they're just oppressors, tyrants. So therefore he said at the beginning of this book, at the first time when it came out, how do you call it? The first, not first session, it's just printing, whatever it's called. He said that this is a warning to the Western countries of what is to be coming next. That's one, and the same with 1984. So what happened in 1984? At the beginning of the book, if you remember, if you wrote it, and I strongly advise you to read it, he said that the neighbor kid denounced his parents, like in Soviet Union, being the enemy of the state. Vigilance. That's what Tusk means. Your citizenry being vigilant, and he's talking with him on the phone. He's talking to Putin, goddammit. Excuse me, we saw Tom Jones here, or Janos, or whatever, Jan. We saw Jan over there on the phone, and I think he was talking to Putin. Do you have any evidence? He was on the phone! That's in the evidence, goddammit. Didn't he say his domestic and foreign threat? There you go. And when he says domestic, he talks about the outside interference inside the domestic issues of Poland, overthrowing something, doing something for the interest of the guys from outside, like the Americans did in Ukraine. Or again, Americans and the Soviets did in what? Russians. In what? In Romania. At that time was the Soviets. Yeah. But hey, we won. The Romanian Revolution. All right, let's move on. Tusk made a remark while presenting a new government formed following the political opposition narrow victory in May presidential election. That's why I was like, why is he still there? While all major parties maintain a strong anti-Russian stance, they remain divided over Poland's future relationship with the European Union. And I'm quoting, "We witness practically everyday events that would once have seemed incredible, unexpected. Proverbial black swans." Why black swans? Well, maybe you look at Tchaikovsky. Tusk said, and I'm quoting, "Today it's difficult to find white swans. Emotions are running high," he claimed, "and many Poles feel they are living in a sense in pre-war times. It's because of you. You and your policies. You look in the mirror, baboon." Tusk accused Russia and its close ally Belarus of actively undermining Poland. In doing what exactly? Undermining Poland in what? In getting involved in Ukraine. Why did you get involved in Ukraine, homie? While criticizing unnamed domestic figures who, he claimed, sympathize with Moscow. Remember, he's on the phone. That means he must be talking to Putin. Oppose aid to Ukraine. Why do you need to do that? And harbor hostility towards the European Union. And this is what he says. "We will ruthlessly eliminate all that constitute internal sabotage, internal aggression against the Polish state," not the Polish nation, because the nation is the enemy here now. So, my friends, you are in a pre-war Gestapo kind of war, or if you want Mossad, or you want whatever. I will start refusing, tell you a personal note, I will start refusing to use how they conditioned us as Gestapo, the Nazi being the, something that we have to instinctively hate and give an example as being bad. I will focus on Moses. Yeah, that guy. He was a genocidal guy. Read my books. Read your Old Testament if you want. So I'm going to refer as him and his guys. And I will refer to what's going on in Israel as the example, like Mossad or security or secret police as, I'm not going to say, the Gestapo kind. No, I'm going to say Mossad style. That's it. When I'm going to talk about the guy with the mustache, I'm going to talk about Moses instead. Yeah. Okay, you can refer to that guy however you want. But I will refuse to take a shit on us. And when I say us, our history, good or bad, for the benefit of those guys who are writing our history. Okay, personal note out. So yes, you live in a pre-war situation or times. Why? They maneuvered you in that position. They put you in the line of shooting, whatever. So that's the first one. And they will eliminate for you, for the Polish state. All right, next one. And this is where the Brits could do something that others did to Germany. Oh, we can say that. Russia Today. UK could, and I'm quoting, easily stab US in the back. Putin's aide. Now, it does not mean that is true, but I think that is true that could easily stab US in the back. The problem is, would they do it? And the answer is yes, they could, and they could be willing to do it, not at the UK's orders, but the people in charge of the UK, and are the same people in charge of the US. Okay? All right. Moscow has previously warned that London was, he said, considering a false flag operation against an American warship. I did not know that, but now I do. According to the Russians, again, I don't know if that's true. The United Kingdom would not hesitate to sabotage a potential thaw in US-Russia relations, a top aide to Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed on Friday. That's totally normal. I don't see that any fantastic news over there. Nikolai Patrushev, a longtime national security official and senior Kremlin advisor, accused London of being prepared to carry out a false flag in order to derail efforts by US President Donald Trump to resolve the conflict in Ukraine and normalize ties with Moscow. Perfectly normal in this world. And I'm quoting, if necessary, London would easily stab Washington in the back. I believe officials in the White House realize what kind of quote-unquote ally they are dealing with, end quote, Patrushev told RIA Novosti. Now, his comments followed a statement last month by Russian Foreign Intelligence Services, SVR, not necessarily true. I have to tell you this. Just because an intelligence service says something, it doesn't mean that's true, obviously, which alleged, I like the word, that British intelligence was directly involved in orchestrating covert Ukrainian operations. I don't think that's a secret anymore. The SVR claimed that the UK has acquired torpedoes of Soviet and Russian design for potential use in false flag incident. Might very well be true. Specifically, a staged attack on an American naval vessel in the Baltic Sea. Well, let's talk about it. Everything he says as a scenario could be true. But the problem is, we don't know. He says that. His security intelligence services, foreign intelligence services says that. I don't know. Is it possible? I give it possibility 100%. A probability I give it, it's based on the decision. If the guys in charge in UK determine that this is a good thing to do and destroy these guys' friendship or initiations of contact, they will do it with no problem. No problem. And if the American government will realize who was behind that, they will not tell us. They will not tell us. They're going to keep saying it. Why? It's interest. Why do you think they're going to say that the Brits did that? Because the Brits then will say, yeah, but you blew up Nord Stream 2 pipelines. Oh, no, yeah, but you helped us. So they won't do that. Why? It's the system. They are like criminals. If I denounce you and I go to the police and put you, and the police goes to you and you're going to say, whoa, put you. Oh, no, put you. So we have dirt. Oh, yeah, I have dirt on you. You have dirt on me. So if I go and say something to the police, I go like a little canary, and the other guy is going to say the same thing. Therefore, they can't do it. They will not do it. Therefore, it tells me that they will have to be acceptable by the Americans. The Americans will say, yeah, go ahead, do it. Who did this? Oh, the Russians. I mean, look at the evidence. No. You can't investigate. Only we can investigate. Like Nord Stream 2 pipelines. So, could it happen? 100%. I have no doubt. If tomorrow this thing happened and they say it's Russia, could be Russia, but why would they do it? This is a little thing here that I have to also disclose to you. As bad as it might sound for some, I think the distance between the American people, the baboons, and the guys in charge of us, which actually are not in charge of us, they are our employees, at the orders of the real guys in charge of us, the distance between us, it's much, much greater. I'm sorry, this is my opinion. And as a free person opinions, you can have how many you want. So my opinion is that it is so big, the distance between them and us as interest, compared with Putin and the Russian people. And I'm being very nice right now. The distance between what Putin does for his country and his people, his interest, personal interest, and this guy's interest is very small, I think. Right here, the distance seems like they're even against us. All the time, not only sometimes. And therefore, I think it's big. They're not serving our interests. Over there, the guy over there, I think, serves their interest more than these guys by far serve our interest. That's my conclusion with this one. So if the Russians, tell the baboons in Russia, hey, I think the level of lie over there is like this compared with the level of lie these guys tell us about false flag operation, let's say, conducted by the Brits, or about Nord Stream. The lie is like this, like a big lie. I mean, in fact, the big liars are in charge, aren't they? But over there, they're not. That's why those guys don't have a big lie. These guys have a big lie. You want to study who said that? It was not Goebbels. They tell you it was Goebbels and that the mustache man. No, they were just paraphrasing a good guy. Go and check him out. Who invented it, who came with a big lie. No. Goebbels said, Goebbels is used again as we're supposed to use Gestapo. In the same way, Goebbels said it and Hitler said it. Well, after those guys invented it, they said it, and these guys said it in the 20th century. Those guys did it way back. First time with about the big lie. But anyway, again, these guys hijacked our culture, our history, our countries, our lives. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.